Abu Dhabi airport. I need to be careful not to film anyone because it's illegal. So this is day one of my travels to Taiwan. So it's Monday now, 7 p.m. I believe, and I'm having my I'm having my lunch now because it was a stressful as fuck day, as always when you travel and you have to commute. Stuck in the traffic for a long time, but we finally made it to the airport now, and we brought some anabolic travel balls, as I like to call them, so that we don't have to eat the airplane food, and you also don't have to bring food on the plane. This is why I love overnight flights. So whenever I travel with a long haul flight, I try to fly overnight because it means you're not wasting time, and you don't have to bring food on the plane because you can eat before you board and then essentially just sleep. So I'm going to be spending the next 6 weeks in Taipei as a work and training retreat. So let's try and find the check-in. I've eaten my food. The thing is I have another bowl like this, but I'm so full now. But I still need to eat a second meal, otherwise it's not enough for the day. And then I want to drop my bags. I still have one thing to do for work. Upload my YouTube, the previous one. For this I'm already recording a new one, whilst I haven't even uploaded the previous one. And I also going to walk around the airport still for boarding the plane. So we've made it through the security without any challenges. I need to find the water on the way to the gate now because I need to drink my electrolytes. Before you board the plane, you need to drink loads of water, and ideally electrolytes of course as well, because typically when you fly and you're dehydrated, you're going to retain a lot of water, which obviously you don't want. So drinking lots of water and staying hydrated. So the absolute travel toolkit: electrolytes of course, sleeping mask, the sleeping pillow, a neck pillow, earplugs. I wish I could bring a hot bottle. I might have to get one when I land, because very often when I sit for too long, obviously depending on the position, my hips are a bit messed up, and I can't have that when I'm hard running on Thursday. So let's see how it goes. So we've secured the most important thing. So we've landed in Taipei now with shocking recovery and sleep stats as expected. It's 9 a.m. now. I'm actually waiting for my immigration card to come through on email. I didn't fill that in before leaving, so I did it now. And then I'm hungry, but so far, and this was also purpose of this YouTube, which is going to be a bit of a shorter one, it's just how I manage my nutrition, my training, what I do before leaving and when I land, to not miss out on the gains and stay on track with food. I also work with a lot of clients who like regularly travel or who like to travel. Not so much for work, I would say, even though we do have people like that as well who occasionally or sometimes have to travel for work. And if you do want to like chase goals, whatever, physique goals, or even performance preps, event preps, and you also want to travel, then like the traveling can't create a gap. Like there needs to be consistent execution across the year, even though I would say depending on the travel, of course. I do sometimes have more flexibility and sometimes less, but obviously when I go somewhere for longer term, like this trip where I'm staying in a different country for 6 weeks, you can't obviously throw everything out the window for 6 weeks. I mean, for me that's not even a question anyway. But if you go on a shorter holiday, whatever, a longer weekend away, like yes, I would definitely have more flexibility potentially with food, depending on what the goal is at the time. But with this trip, it's not a holiday, it's just me being in a different country and doing business as usual from there, working, training, and also I want to explore a lot, so I've already planned a couple of trips. But yeah, I obviously still have my goals, which are an absolute priority. My physique goals, my half marathon prep. I'm actually excited to be training here and running because Taipei is one of the best places to run. That's actually how I decided to come here. Again, I think a lot of people sometimes ask, or like, how do you get to this level, or how do you get this result, or how the training and everything always needs to be on the forefront. Like I see this, of course, with myself, because I do very heavily practice what I preach, but also with clients who get great results. They also progress relatively fast. They really get a high level result. They make this whole lifestyle a firm part of how they operate. Is they set up their life or their lifestyle around their training goals and around their fitness goals, their physique goals, their performance goals, and not the other way around. Like sometimes people talk about fit and training in yeah, that might work if you just do it as a kind of like side hobby or a nice to have. But for me, like whenever I travel somewhere, even like living environment, like now for example, I made sure that I'm in an area where all the running is easily accessible. I chose the city specifically because it's great for training and great for running. Now also because I've always wanted to come here, but you know, you can obviously combine these things. Gyms, accessible gyms. And again, even like when you go to certain hotels, like do they have a gym? Where am I going to be training? How I'm going to be managing the food? And that's always the first thought and the first thing that they would take care of when they do go somewhere. So we're in the main train station now. It's time to find a coffee shop, get a coffee down the hatch because I am dying. And also food, because I haven't eaten in 12 hours now. Food, coffee, this is the priority right now. Oh, it's very warm here. It's humid and warm. It's gonna be fun. It's fun to train this way. Don't really know where I am. Lost in Taipei. But thankfully I have Google Maps. So, don't know where I'm going now. Starbucks is an option, but it's a bit embarrassing landing in Taipei and going to Starbucks. So I try and see what I can find. I want to get a proper meal in, ideally, like a breakfast, a decent one. And then I have like 4 hours to kill until I can get into my Airbnb. So what we're going to do is work, because we're a workhorse. You know, land, laptop out, start to work, because we're now in Asia where we work 24/7. And ideally I would love to walk around, but given I have my luggage, fuck, it's noisy here, they're all on a scooter. Given I have my luggage, I'm not sure if I can leave that in a coffee shop and go. So we finally made it into the new HQ for the next 6 weeks. That's going to be my Taipei work and training base. So the first thing I'm going to be doing now, because that's the most important one, is go and scout the gym. There is a gym I want to train at. It's called Core Space. I researched it before, and it's apparently one of the best kind of like hybrid training gyms here in Taipei. It's a 25-minute walk, so not super close. But I think it's very convenient because I like having a bit of a walk to the gym, as long as it's under 30 minutes, because then you can also get your steps in and yeah, just catch 2 birds with 1 stone. And then I'm gonna get the groceries done as well. So I need to have my staples at home: oats, yogurt, milk, some frozen fruits, whey protein. I need to buy whey protein because I'm obviously on a massive time difference with Europe now. I'm on a 4-hour difference with Dubai and an 8-hour difference with the UK in that case, and 7 hours with Central Europe. So it's 4:30 p.m. for me now. I want to get out because apparently the sun sets around in an hour or 90 minutes. And we want to see the daylight, even though the weather is pretty shit. It's just great. But I miss this kind of weather. It was slightly drizzling or even a bit raining earlier, and I miss this type of weather. That's one of the things I miss the most sometimes in the UAE. I obviously like sunshine because it's great for training, especially when you're running outside or doing any form of training really. But I do miss having seasons at times, like having the difference between summer, spring, winter. So obviously Taipei apartments are relatively small. There were a few criteria that I had that I wanted. So one is a washing machine in my apartment, because apparently that's not very common. The bathroom has a decent size. I brought my scale because I need my bodyweight scale, definitely. And then we have a fridge. So one thing I don't have is a kitchen, but that's not going to be an issue. Sometimes people are surprised when I tell them I barely cook. And then this is a loft-style apartment. And then you have the bedroom here. The other criteria for me was to have a desk, obviously, to work. I mean, it's not great that this is in the bedroom. I would prefer to have it downstairs. But maybe I can move this, potentially. I could ask. But let's not cause issues on day one. Aircon, because, yeah, it's quite warm. And then we have a walk-in wardrobe where I haven't really unpacked everything yet. Shoes, we brought the most important shoes, which is my running shoes. So we have my easy running shoe, for which I'm currently using the Adidas. Don't know what the model is. Yeah, Evo SL. And then we brought my Saucony. This is my speed run shoe. This is the Endorphin Speed 5. But that one is almost done. So I think I have like 90k left on this shoe. So I might buy another one whilst I'm here. And then I traveled very late. So just mainly training clothes, really. And then I was thinking of switching to another Asics, the Magic Speed, but probably not. I will stay with Saucony. I'm a loyal Saucony user. I tried the Adidas now because I was like, I need to run in a German brand as my easy running shoe or my daily trainer. I like it, but yeah, it's nothing special. So I won't have a kitchen. So what I'm going to be doing here with my food, I eat a lot of things that don't require cooking. So yeah, oats balls, yogurt balls, and other things that just can be stored in the fridge. So pre-cooked rice, lentils, beans, chickpeas, veggies usually frozen or fresh ones. But then I think in Taipei, and again, this is something I obviously researched before because it's important, there's a lot of places where you can pick up, for example, grilled chicken or even like macro-friendly meals, similar to having meal prep service. So I'm sure that won't be an issue at all. So that's how I'm gonna be managing my nutrition. So I just checked out the gym. So I'm gonna walk now to go to get a poke bowl as my dinner because I can control it, and you can choose pretty clean things as well. Then I will go and check out the World Gym, which is nearby in my apartment or in the same like area. And then I'm gonna go to Carrefour to buy all the essentials for my breakfast tomorrow and all these different things. And then it's time to call it a day. So we've secured the whey protein. These are all the travel essentials that I need to survive. It's actually Wednesday morning now, so I'm having my breakfast. So we bought oats last night, whey protein, very important. I actually have a whey protein matcha that I'm gonna try. I'm not sure this is good. The color looks weird. And then yogurt, coffee. So we're going for the Nescafe. I actually quite like these because I don't have a coffee machine. But the coffee, milk, honey, peanut butter, and then bananas. I wanted to get frozen blueberries, but they didn't have any, which is a bit of a shame. So, gonna get the breakfast down, and then I will do a proper big grocery order online today. But I sorted out everything yesterday, so this is what I would recommend for anyone to do. And this is the first thing that I do when I go anywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm traveling back home or traveling wherever. Like when you travel somewhere to a hotel, it's a bit easier because usually you have a gym available there. You might have some form of food or breakfast or whatever. But when you're obviously in an Airbnb, you need to organize these things. So I sorted out the gym yesterday, which I'm going to go to now in a second to do my full body session. I feel pretty good. And again, I think this is because of all the things that I've done whilst traveling. I don't feel bloated. I actually hit my lowest weight this morning. My digestion is normal. I was able to go to the toilet. I don't feel overly jet lagged for some reason. I went to bed quite late yesterday, so everything just took a bit longer. Then I had to do content as well at night. So I went to bed around midnight, and then I woke up at 8, which is also way later than what I would usually do. But given that I'm anyway so many hours ahead of the rest of the world, it's fine, because everyone is still asleep, deep asleep. So yeah, I organized everything yesterday, the gym, the food. So I will do my sessions per normal, push my numbers as much as possible. And obviously when you do go to a new gym or a different gym, you might have to do a bit of a maintenance session for the first time. I also need to see if all the equipment is the exact same as before, but that's fine. As long as we get it done. The first week is anyway just to settle into things. So the travel has been managed very well so far, and that's simply because I planned and organized everything ahead of time. Now of course it's always more difficult with the nutrition and setting up the gym. Like actually yesterday, the gym that I wanted to go to, I don't necessarily like it that much. It's different from what I expected, as per usual. And then for the jet lag, I didn't nap yesterday, so I just stayed awake. I walked around a lot, so I made sure by the night time I was very tired, which I was anyway after an overnight flight. But these are the things that I would always do. So the food, of course, setting up everything on day one that you need. Supermarket, staples at home, training, where you're going to train, hydration. So I had loads of electrolytes. Yesterday, just water in general. I only had one coffee yesterday. Was it 1 or 2? No, it was 2. I had 2 coffees yesterday. But I stopped drinking caffeine again at 11 a.m., which meant I didn't have issues falling asleep at night. What else? What are the other travel non-negotiables? Yeah, no junk food. But I mean, that's self-explanatory anyway. I moved a lot yesterday, so I think I did like 16k steps. I walked everywhere. I organized the whey protein and the oats ASAP because you need that, and the coffee. The coffee also very important. And I slept a decent 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I think traveling generally throws people off because usually it's a lack of organization, a lack of planning. I think now in 2026, and obviously we live in a world where you can, like, it's not like you have to walk 10 kilometers to get food like our grandparents had to do. And it's not like there is no gym available anywhere except, I don't know, for the major cities. So I think it's very easy nowadays to just continue everything as per usual, even when you are traveling. So let's test this matcha here. So I need more water, yes, because and then the other thing is water. That is the next very important thing, because you can't drink the tap water here. So I'm gonna eat this green matcha oats bowl now and finish this YouTube.